Already diving right in, we've got Tarte Tatin, the brand new epic cookie at a max level 75. They're a ranged unit and placed in the rear. Additionally, I've got them at a 3-star promotion. As for her skill, Cannonade at a 12-second cooldown. When Tarte Tatin Cookie fires her cannon, she reduces her own cooldown and shackles her target after a certain number of hits. Upon utilizing her skill, she will fire a cannonball straight towards the center cookie in the enemy team. Hit enemies will suffer from burn and bosses will receive extra damage. After a certain number of skill uses, Tarte Tatin Cookie will fire an enhanced cannonball. During the battle, when Tarte Tatin Cookie successfully defeats an enemy or a boss, her attack will also increase, and then while Tarte Tatin Cookie is utilizing her skill, she will briefly become resistant to interrupting effects. Now, what's interesting is Tarte Tatin actually introduces a brand new mechanic into the game, and that is essentially reducing her cooldown the more that she attacks, and I'm very eager to test it out against bosses and PvE. Now, as for the best toppings for Tarte Tatin Cookie, I'm honestly going to go with a full searing raspberry build with an emphasis on attack and crit percent for a majority of content. Obviously, if you're trying to use Tarte Tatin Cookie in specific world exploration stages, you are going to want to stack up some damage resistance, and if you are looking to run Tarte Tatin in something like the Kingdom Arena, then you're probably going to need to run something like a full solid almond build that is got a lot of damage resistance and attack percent. But overall, because she's reducing her own cooldown, she definitely does not need to be stacking up cooldown whatsoever. However, you could potentially stack up some attack speed to aid in her attacking a little bit faster. Alrighty, so officially diving in, I'm just going to show you guys side by side with Snapdragon and Tarte Tatin in World Exploration Dark Mode 1530, just these two cookies. And yes, they can absolutely handle this all by themselves. What I really want to just show off here is Tarte Tatin's skill in boss stages when it comes to world exploration, just the sheer amount of damage that Tarte Tatin can do at a max level 75, and keep in mind, this is only a 3-star promotion. Check this out. Watch how fast she kills this guy, literally in 2 rounds of utilizing her skill. The very first one is about to go off, and boom, half of the health is already gone. The second skill, boom, look at that. Literally killed the boss in 2 uses of Tarte Tatin's skill. Absolutely goated. Remember, that was dark mode. That was dark mode 1530. And I know that dark mode 1530 is nowhere near as strong as something like 1630 going up against Stardust when it comes to the dark mode. I know they're 2 different leagues, but you got to remember that was only Snapdragon and Tarte Tatin Cookie on 1530 dark mode, and they destroyed it literally in 2 rounds of Tarte Tatin's skills. So absolutely, when it comes to my first impressions on Tarte Tatin and bosses in the world exploration, I absolutely think that Tarte Tatin is a great option. And if you are a new player diving into Cookie Run Kingdom, then I feel like you could feel good about picking up Tarte Tatin Cookie and utilizing her as a main DPS on your team, clearing the world exploration story mode. However, though, one thing I want to suggest is if you are a current player in the game, you might want to stick until the end of the video to hear my final conclusion and if you should summon on the banner or not. Now, diving into some PvP here, this is the team I'm going to try Tarte Tatin in. I did try the scam comp via the earlier live stream, and unfortunately, I did not have any luck with swapping her and Captain Caviar. So anyways, we're going to be utilizing Pitaya and Hollyberry Cookie in the front, with the brand new Tarte Tatin Cookie in the center, with Pure Vanilla Cookie and Snapdragon in the back. We've got the Old Pilgrim Scroll, the Whistle, and the Jelly Watch. Already diving into another match here. This time it's going to be going up against the attack speed comp, which I'm not hopeful for. I have a feeling we're going to get shredded here, but we'll see. It does look like we've already killed a couple of their cookies off, and Bloody's is staying pretty low health here. If we can now just kill off their Moonlight, we might actually get a successful win utilizing Tarte Tatin, but the stats at the very end are going to show if it is actually due to Tarte Tatin or if it's just be simply due to us outscaling them in other means. All right, let's check the final numbers here on this one. Yeah, not even close, dude. Hollyberry and Pattaya did way more damage. Now, obviously, they're higher promoted, so it makes sense. Different rarity, that kind of stuff. But overall, it was definitely not due to Tarte Tatin. Alrighty, diving into another match here. Once again, this is going against the standard, Stardust and Moonlight Cookie team that everybody is pretty much utilizing right now as one of their teams for the Kingdom Arena. So I'm just going to be testing this out against Crispy Bacon on my friends list. Again, they're in Masters 2. They've got a really strong team, but I just don't know, man. I don't know what I think about Tarte Tatin currently. I definitely don't think that Tarte Tatin is meant to be a PvP cookie. I can tell you that right now. Simply, they're super squishy, even running on a full solid almond set, dude. And with them being placed in the middle line as a DPS, it also makes it very tough on a team like this. Maybe if I was to move them to the back line, it might keep Tarte Tatin alive a little bit longer, but I don't know. Alrighty, so we went ahead and swapped out for another team. Instead, I took out Pure Vanilla Cookie, and I added Capsaicin back in. Once again, we're still running Snapdragon, just like we would with BTS, and I'm going up against Crispy Bacon once again on my friends list, because I do want to see if it makes a difference with Tarte Tatin actually surviving a little bit longer, being with the overall placement. Because Tarte Tatin is not placed in the middle, and instead is now placed in the rear, it doesn't look like it matters, chat. Look at this. Oh, man, I don't know, dude. Tarte Tatin is not a PvP cookie, that is for sure. Super weak here. I don't even know if we're going to get this win. Can my frontline tanks actually pull it off? Oh, no, dude. No. No way, dude. Pattaya is going to ruin Capsaicin here. Man, interesting. Let's look at that overall damage. Yeah, dude, look at this. Look at this. Being a Ranger cookie, dude, absolutely does not do hardly anything in the overall arena. Alrighty, so as you can see here for PvP, I tried a couple of different team variations, and I threw Tarte Tatin on there as a DPS cookie. Whether I left her in the middle line or I moved her to the back, it didn't seem to do a whole lot of difference. Tarte Tatin is simply squishy and inevitably ended up dying to the enemy team majority of the time, not really offering a whole lot of anything for my individual team. And at the end, when we checked out the scores, they were always placed at the very bottom simply due to obviously dying. So in my personal opinion, Tarte Tatin is not a PvP cookie, so don't build Tarte Tatin for the Kingdom Arena. However, one thing I would like to say in Tarte Tatin's defense is she's actually really strong for things like the world exploration and especially boss stages. As you guys saw, she is capable of nuking 15-30 dark mode in 2 skill rotations using a full Searing Raspberry build. So absolutely, she is good for that. But outside of that, I'm not really too sure, to be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of top tier players who have been testing her and utilizing her and trying in the guild boss battle system, and once again, they are having zero luck. She simply is lackluster compared to the other options and other teams that we're currently utilizing at the top tiers. So what does that exactly tell us? Well, that tells us that, in my opinion, Tarte Tatin is more of like a Cherry Blossom cookie when Cherry Blossom was officially added into the game. She was not really necessary. Players shouldn't have been running to the banner to summon all of their crystals on them to pull Cherry Blossom, because at the current state of the game, when Cherry Blossom was launched, just like with Tarte Tatin, she's not required. She doesn't really dominate in any aspect of the game. So the only type of player that I could recommend Tarte Tatin for is purely new players diving into the game where you have limited amount of cookies, because Tarte Tatin can be a good DPS cookie to carry you through the story mode and help you beat certain bosses when it comes to things like the world exploration or probably even Cookie Alliance. So outside of that though, I don't think players should really spend a whole lot of crystals and resources summoning for them. I think maybe one copy is probably the best bet here, just to at least have it in your arsenal in case if something does change in the future. You guys know, just like with Cherry Blossom, eventually becoming meta in something like the Avatar of Destiny. So that's where I'm currently at with Tarte Tatin here as my first impressions. If I missed anything, you guys let me know what your thoughts are down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Cookie Run Kingdom related. And with that being said, as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.